Welcome back to NBA Cinema. Today we got to talk about Kyrie Irving a little bit and what he said at his recent press conference. And it's not nothing about the game of basketball. Obviously, he talked about how him and Luka are going to mesh, Luka playing off the ball, how that'll open up for him, their leadership qualities as it pertains to the rest of the team feeding off of it. And he was very complimentary of Grant Williams. Remember, Grant Williams was one of the defenders against him and KD and was very instrumental in Boston's sweep a couple of years ago. But we're not about to talk about none of that right now. He talked about his new Anta shoe deal with the Chinese company and some of the things he's going to be able to do to break some barriers, and he's going to knock down some doors for athletes, entertainers here in the U.S. And Kyrie is really going to change the game based off of some of the stipulations and things he sees in contracts where they'll try to give you merchandise and not money, whereas Kyrie is trying to give you more back end than some of these big companies. And I think it's a really good list, and I want you guys to check this out. Let's peep it.
Hey, Kyrie, first of all, welcome back. You talked about free agency with organizations and coming back to Dallas. You were also a free agent with Shoe Deal. Just talk about the process of joining Anta, not only as a player, but also as an executive and creative.
Thank you, man. It felt a little surreal this summer, being able to negotiate a shoe deal of the magnitude that I have, and alongside my all-leaving management team. They really emphasized me having creative control and being broadcasted to more of an international community, and having direction in that, and being able to come to the table and discuss that with the executives over there. There definitely is a language barrier. There are definitely things to be aware of politically, but also I think the importance for me was being able to put clothes on my family's back, putting clothes on my community's back, putting shoes on their feet, and being able to make a bigger impact with my platform after basketball. You know, I have less years playing than I do more years playing. I'm aware of that. But I think the fun part is being able to jump into that entrepreneurial lane and prepare myself for life after basketball my way. So this is just a step in that direction, that process, and it's been amazing to see the attention that it's getting. But my focus right now is just building the best team at Anta, making sure our designs and our technology match what we're saying, and making sure the production and distribution also matches what we're saying. So it's a new business here in America. I'm building something new here, and I'm competing with some of the biggest brands in the world. We all know who they are. We all know they have some of the best players and best athletes and best artists. But that's where I feel like my CCO role at Anta is key, because I can sign other artists, I can sign other athletes, I could basically sign my peers, and also negotiate favorable terms that I know the industry is not offering anybody else. So, and the big smile on my face is because of that. Reading contracts, understanding contracts, bringing in the attorneys, bringing in the lawyers, it's all new process for me. So I had an amazing time learning throughout that, and where I made mistakes when I was 18, 19, signing contracts that I didn't read thoroughly. And, this is just a big stepping stone for me to teach at the same time, while I'm going through the process, because I don't want any of these young kids to feel like they have to sign with these other brands because they offer apparel or they offer shoes. Outside of that, if you want to talk about generational wealth, you got to go deep into the details. And that's what I did this summer, signing with Anta. So it was just bigger than just a shoe deal. That's why I had the hashtag. So literally just focused on establishing myself as a businessman and knowing I have an entrepreneurial lane outside of this game.
So I like this for several reasons. I like that Kyrie is taking control of what happens with his brand after his playing days. Yeah, he's not going to have the big networks or the big conglomerates to push it, but hopefully he can get it off the ground and he has a whole market in China. That's some players' mistake, that they feel like the only market you have is in America. That couldn't be further from the truth. Basketball is a global game. You look at the Philippines, China, some of these other nations really love USA basketball. Kyrie's going to be able to educate the youth. Some of the things in the contracts he signed early on in his career, he'll be able to steer them away from it. And he talked about giving players a lot of shoes. You get whatever shoes you want if you're with this brand, instead of seeing the big picture saying, hey, I'm at the peak of my notoriety, let me start a brand and build this thing from the ground up. Yeah, I might not sell what these other brands sell, but if I'm a partner and I get to keep more money at the top, is that better for me in the long run instead of just running that race for their brand? And I think what Kyrie is doing is cool, and he'll be able to educate some players. Now it's gonna be something I'm gonna be looking forward to. How long is the NBA gonna allow Kyrie to stay and do that type of thing? Because they have deals with some of these brands, and they don't want to do that. They didn't really like when Marbury started his Starberry brand. That's why I didn't like when LeBron and some of the others were trashing it, because I felt like players taking ownership in their brand, that's a good thing. You don't have to just go with Nike or go with Adidas or go with Reebok because we've been programmed to do that. No, think outside the box. I mean, yeah, you go there for a season. When you get in the league, you take the money up front. But once you are well off, you're able to start a brand from the ground up, man, do that. Do that if you got, what it takes to run a company. Now, or you got the people in position to do it for you. I like what Kyrie is doing, though, partnering up and it being more like a merger than him just being an athlete on the brand. You see what I'm saying? So I think that's cool, but I want to know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time. Peace.